Hi, this is Alex again, and I'm here using Zoom trying to explain my project, and hopefully everything is going to fall in place. And to start off, I want to share my screen, and I want to show you. I want to share the entire screen. Yeah, I want to share only a bit, and I'm going to take you through my code and how it works. Sorry about this. I was trying out those different videos to see which one can work for me to record this video. And finally, I figured this out. So now coming down to my Visual Studio Code, this is this is my application that I'm working on this time around. And so, trying to see how I can push this on top or below. It's actually getting into the way I can see well. Well, let me push it on the side. Okay, so um, with this, I think that's better. Yeah. So this is a program, and this is what it does. First of all, now this is something I've done before, but then it lacked a lot of functionality. It lacked so many things. I had the idea, but I couldn't implement it so well. But it was passing for those a few requirements that were needed back then because it was just a simple thing. So I looked at adding more functionality and everything. And so what this app does, I'll explain a bit of it. So what it does is an app that I created to help students who are in countries, especially in Africa, which do not have a credit card facility. In other words, banks cannot issue credit cards to them and all that. So what I did is come up with an app. But I know banks in Africa at least can transfer money within banks from one country to another. And so we're trying to come up with a solution where a student can transfer money from their bank account to this credit card that they're going to create. So what this app does, it gives them an option to create a virtual card. And once they create a virtual card, then they can top it up with the money. And once they top it up, the money coming from the account, then they can be able to use that money on their card now to make payments to any university anywhere in the world or even pay online. So this is what it works. This is the project and it has a login. It has a Pay University. This Pay University is one, it's a supplier which handles the payments, what the student he asks a few details, gets the student ID, gets the virtual card number, gets, determines the card balance and everything. I'll walk through that logic. And the student CS this file is one that handles the sign up for the student. So when it's the first time for the student, when they select the option of sign up from the menu, this is what runs or executes, and then they sign up. And then the login, as I said, is the one which is used to log in the student after they signed up with their details. So once their details are in, they use this login. This is what gets fired when they select to log in, and this is what logs them in. And the top up, this is one which works on the top up. If a card has no money and they're paying, let's say they're paying $10 and the card only has like five, it can ask them to top up. And so once they do that top up, this gets fired and it works on the top ups. And the virtual card, this is the one which works on creating the virtual card, stores the information for that card for the student that just created a card or any person, and then also generates that card and you have your card. You can have your image for the card, not printed out, but it's already there. It generates it and you see it. So I'm going to demonstrate how this all works. And so I know you're seeing these files and all these things. So these files are the ones I use as my backend database. So for now, simply the virtual cards, this one's to okay, cannot be seen, but when you open them like from a desktop or Explorer or something, you can see the contents. It's an Excel file. So this stores the virtual card information. When you create a card for the first time, it stores it in here. And the student transaction, also when you make a payment or something, it stores that transaction in here. The student data, this one stores your information when you sign up. So the first time when you sign up, it stores this information. And the credit, this is the one which stores information coming from the top up. When you top up, this is where the information goes. So all this gets stored. And the login uses the student data to pick up what information the user, student, has registered with. So to run our program, I'll go to the terminal, and it's in the CSE to 10 project. So that one, it's not where the program is. So I'll try to look for CD moving into the project. So this is where it is. And when I saw CD, so it goes into the project, the final project, and then I'll do .NET run, and it will start the project, and give it some time, and it runs through, builds the project, and works out everything to set it up. Once it sets up, one final thing I didn't say, there's a program.cs. So this is the main program which gets executed. This is a file. It's one which contains a menu, and then this is what gets popped up when the student runs it for the very first time. Okay, so now as our program runs, this is what you're going to see on the console when it runs. And as we wait for it, it's building, taking up some time. And then once that is done, okay, now it's done. And finally going to pop up with our main project, my main menu. And we can start from there. Let's give it some time. Perfect. So now here it is. This is our menu. This is what pops up, okay? When our project starts, it gives us a menu so that the person can select from. We don't want to take the person straight to the dashboard and everything. It's just like the normal login or sign up and then log in and get taken to the dashboard. So now our menu has 4 options. 1 is you can sign up. 2, you can log in. 3, you can create a virtual card. 4, you can exit. Okay, and then it ends. So the virtual card doesn't need you to log in. Why? It's because we made it that those who don't have cards, they can come here and create a card to use. Yeah, but it won't have money until they log into our app to top it up and use it. Okay, so it will just be a card and they can't use it for anything. The login works that you already signed up. If you already signed up and then you record your student ID and the password, then the login logs you in automatically. And the sign up is the same. So I'm going to try one account which is already there. So I'm going to go to a login, and then my student ID, let's say it's 211, which I registered, 5817, and then enter password. My password was, you can see that it masks it. And then now it brings me in a login successful. So once it's successful, now it takes you to the payment. So this is where you start doing the payments. I recall I didn't create a card number, or I created a card number. I recall it when it was 950199 7. Some moment, let me check. Let me check. That's my, I think I do have it. Okay, yeah. So the virtual card was 95019925. Okay, this is the card I created. So now, once you enter your card number, it shows you the balance that you have on the card, and then asks you the semester to pay. Let's say winter 2025, and then it asks you for the amount of tuition to pay. Let's say paying $20. Yeah, less than what I have on the account, the balance, it will pay. But if I have more, it will ask you to go back and top up. So when I say that, it has paid, okay? And the data has been returned to the transaction. You see it's changing the color to yellow, meaning there's been a transaction which has been added. And so it takes you back to the menu, and then you can continue. Okay, so now let me try it one more time to show, to log in. Student ID is 2115817, and the password is this. Enter virtual card, it was 95019925. So the scenario I'm trying to say now, the balance is 28. Remember, I had 58. So once you pay, it goes and updates the balance on your card. It reduces it by the amount you pay. Right now it's free. Like, it doesn't charge anything as like a business module trying to attract more people to come in. Once they come in, then you can start attaching a little charge here and there. So enter semester to pay, let's say fall 2024, and enter tuition amount. So let me put money more than that. When I say $40, okay, this is in dollars, yeah. See, this is what it says. So this is the functionality I added in. First of all, I added the functionality of inputting the card number, creating more card number, a card, and displaying it to the user, updating the card balance. Back then it wasn't there. Updating the card balance, capturing this. If someone puts more money than what is on account, it will be an insufficient funds on the card. Then ask you please top up. Then gives you the option to either say yes or no. When you say no, the transaction will be cancelled. When you say yes, ask you to enter that virtual card, which is 95019925. So I'm working with a card which is already created. And then ask you the current balance is 38. So how much do you want to top up? Remember, we want to pay 40. So I'll just say three, just give me $3. Provide your local bank name. I'll just call it ABSA. Capital, that's the name. Provide the local account, 99 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. Okay, and it tells you this, that the funds will be remitted to students for the credit you have bought, and the top-up is successful. Now, the new card balance is 41. It tells you, the transaction has been saved. Now, you also see this file has been highlighted yellow. So that means there is a transaction that has been written there. It is there. This transaction adjustment at top up. So now when you go back and you want to pay, unfortunately you have to log in again. It logs you out because of security. It doesn't leave the session open. So you log in again into the student ID 2115871. I hope that's the one. And the password was. Okay, that's the one. Enter your card 95019925. Enter semester to pay, we said it was fall 2024, and the amount to pay was 40. Now it has paid, and the balance updated to 1. So that functionality works perfect. If someone puts more money, it captures that, asks you to top up, records the transaction, adds the transaction after making the payment to this file, writes it to there, and the login reads from the student file. And I sign up, adds to a student data. So now let me give a scenario of showing how the card is done or sign up. And let me just sign up here. Let's say I'm signing up. And let me say the student ID and enter numbers only. So that's what it has given us for character. We put a character to repeat it. So let's say it's 2024. 7812. Let's say that's the student number. I need to code it so that I don't forget. Let me just write it down. So which is 2024 7812. Then enter. As student name, let's say Lukman. That's my name. And enter the email. Lukman at proton.me. I love Proton. And then enter password. I'll say look at 1, 2, 3. Let me just leave it simple like that so that you remember. Then look is capital L at 1, 2, 3. Just leave it at that. And so registered successfully. Now also check this file student data. It has been highlighted, which means there's a transaction, So now let's record that. Now we can try to log in with this person, okay? And Or let's first create a card for this person because this is a new person, doesn't have a card. And let's say create a virtual card. So it's going to enter your first name, which was Lookman, and then last name, and then how could you say, let's say Ashton, that's his last name, and the card has been created. Now, when that card is created, previously it didn't have all this, and for security, we don't display the card information, we leave it to the customer to see, because after creating, it only shows them the file where the card has been created. So this file is actually here in users desktop, lookmanation virtual card.png. It's an image. You can browse and go there and see it, but here I'm going to press command. I'm just going to highlight the link and I'll just let's click it, and it will open the card just to see how it looks like. So this is what it does. The program puts a virtual card for you. It puts a random number, the card number we generate in random. We don't give numbers which are easy to pick up. So this is a system which generates a random number, and then also adds a validity. It is 2 years, yeah? March 2027, this is 2025. So March, which is 03, and the month and the year. And then also adds your name and the CCV, okay? Because you cannot flip it to put the CCV at the back. We just display it here. It's a virtual card. So it creates a beautiful card like this, and just record your card number. So let's say Lookman's card number was 6962 8569. So when the program is checking against the card number, it knows the hyphen, which is okay. Here we're just doing it for video presentation, but when we are checking against our database, we skip out this hyphen and then we look at the number, and it is also stored as this. And so when you check also this file, virtual cards.xls, it's highlighted, meaning the transaction has been added. This card number, this virtual card information has been added there for student Lookman. So now since Lookman has a card, Lookman has signed up. Now let's log in Lookman. And his student ID was, if we recall, 2024 7812. And then that's the password, which was Look at 123. Okay, it has logged the person in. Now it is taking them to paying straight. So enter your virtual card number, which is 6962 and 8569. That's the card number. Perfect. So now you see our card was stored in the virtual cards. And when we ask the student for that card number, it's going to run and check against this information if this card exists. If it doesn't exist, it will return that there is no such a card. But if it exists, it's going to continue asking them to pay. Now the card balance is 0. Of course, this person cannot pay. We just have to enter the semester. Let's say spring 2025. I know we are ahead of our time. And enter the tuition amount to pay is 12. But we don't have that. And it says insufficient funds. Yes, it's going to take us through the same thing that I showed previously. Do you want to top up? Yeah, you say yes. And then card number, which is 69628569. And press enter. Current balance is that how much you want to pay? We want to pay $12. Let's say $50. Here's money on his account, and this account is going to be Wells Fargo. Let's say that is a bank, and they provide a local bank account. Let's say 1,435, and that is successful. Okay. Now the new card balance is 50. Now we need to log in again. Enter student ID is 2024 and 7812. And enter password, that was look at 123. And then enter a virtual card number, it was 69628569. Okay, shows the card balance. Enter semester to pay, spring. Remember, the transaction didn't go through because because he had less money and the tuition amount to pay. He wants to pay, was it $12? Yes, sir, $12. And then he has paid and deducted the current balance. Now, right now is 38. So this is our project and program. And so if I click 4, it's going to exit the program. And so it exits and ends. So this is what they'll be doing and using, and this is how it works. Everything gets recorded, and project code captures any anomalies that we didn't see. The virtual cards works on everything. The code is more than 100 lines because I have different files that I'm working with. There is a virtual card, creates a card. The Pay University OCS works on payments. The login works on logging in the student after signing up. Then the student OCS is the one which signs up the student. This is the main program which runs. The top up is for topping up when you have less money on the account. If you have more, it will accept and you make the payments. And this is what our program is. And thank you. I know it's taken long because my thing was working through quite a lot, as quite a number of files that I've been working on. And definitely, I guess we're there. So I just want to show the transactions that I've been talking about, that they are writing themselves to the files, and this can help us to see. So these are files. You can look at the most recent transaction which we worked on for Loopman. My Excel takes some time to load, but that should be fine. And so it writes itself in all these files. Or any transaction that we make, we keep a record so that it can be used later for record purposes and planning. So this opens up, and just want to show you. Okay, take some time. I guess my thing is, so here's Lookman. You see the last transaction we made for Lookman. Lookman Ashton, it brings the card holder, his first name and last name, the card number we generated, the CCV, and the expiry date, and the balance. Because we have added in 50 and we paid 12, it keeps on updating. So if we use this card again, it will not draw another line or record. It will just update only the balance because this is what is changing. The rest remains. If the card expires, then this won't be usable, or we will be able to, they'll have to create or renew a new one. So this field, the balance, keeps on updating. And that is one file. And now when we check the other files as well, it writes, so there was student data. For signing up, we signed up Lookman. We want to see Lookman's record. There he is with the ID, the Lookman, emails, and all that. And so all the information gets sent to this as we use them for our backend, the files. And the last one is also here. This is his ID. This is the term he's paying for, and he was paying for $12, the card number which paid, and the card balance. So now we know for any admin who logs in, we know how much they paid, which card was used to pay, and all those things. So this is our information in the student. We've seen the card, we've seen, and the last one is also here. So the transaction we made the student credit for topping up from his bank was Pago. He picked up the ID, how much money was being transferred from their bank was Pago, then the account balance, and the card, the money it's going to, and how much. So the balance also gets updated here. So these were all trades that I was doing before, working them out and everything. And now this is what it does. It creates the files there, it writes the information, the files, reads from it, and then updates what is needed to be updated, like the balance, logs in the person, and get the application moving and working. Thank you so much. That's been my presentation.